Well, good morning, my Center for Spiritual Living family. Welcome once again to our digital space here on the interwebs all across the world, wherever you are tuning in. I hope you are so well. Yeah, let's kick this service off a little bit with some music. Hopefully, we can get you grooving in your seat wherever you are. Let's get it. When I wake up in the morning, and the sunlight hurts my eyes. Something without warning, it's heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be, a lovely day, a lovely day, a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. The day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face. With someone else instead of me always seems to know the way. Yeah. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. It's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, a lovely day, a lovely day, a lovely day. Hey, sing it along at home, will ya? Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Come on, one more time now. Lovely day, 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 yeah. I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Oh, 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 oh.
And indeed, it is quite the lovely day to begin it with the one and only James Harper.
Good morning, Keith.
Good morning, James. What a great selection to kick off our morning service, don't you think?
You know, it just felt right.
It does feel right. I knew it. Yes, quite wonderful, and it got me vibing and moving and grooving. And I've been up since 5:50, so
Ooh, okay.
Lord, I know.
It's working.
Working. Well, what a pleasure it is to have you here with us this morning, and thank you for stepping up to be our musician today. Amy Steinberg was scheduled, and she had something come up in life that she needed to take care of, and thank you for so graciously stepping in and bringing your light and your life and your gift to us.
Always happy to support. Always.
Well, it's more than support. You share your essence, and that is deeply touching and inspiring for each and every one of us. So I'm really excited about sharing this time together with you today.
Me as well. Looking forward to it.
Good. So good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, who just had the great pleasure of hearing the one and only Donald James Harper as our musician for the day. Welcome to our virtual space, as he said. We come together on Sunday mornings to connect with that power that is deep within us, that power that is the infinite, all-knowing, presence that gives us life, that is life itself. And so I welcome you into this space as we come together on this day, November 20th, in the year 2022, knowing that it's a lovely day. It's a lovely day because you're in it, as am I, and that we have before us today, as we do with every day, to bring forth through us an expression of this power, this presence, the thing itself. And so we're back into our virtual space only, not in person, obviously, as we were last week. And we will be virtual again until we come together in person again on December the 11th. And so I welcome you that no matter where you may be joining us from today, in the privacy of your home or certainly the privacy of your own environment, whether that's via the great technology called Zoom and or through Facebook of the Meta universe or YouTube, know that where you are right now, God is. That this power, this presence, the light of life is expressing itself in its completeness, in its perfection, in its totality as you. So I'm glad that we're here together to do that. I'm going to put on the screen today our welcoming, and today's going to be a multimedia day of interaction, and I'm excited about that for all of us. And so let's begin without further ado. Here we go. And so we are an organization known as the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. Our vision statement, which you'll hear in a moment, is supporting individuals. Well, you'll hear it now, but you'll hear it repeated in just a moment as well. Supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Our goal today is for each of us to tap into that spiritual awakening in a new way. And so a big hello to the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles individuals as you gather with us here today to declare that it's a lovely and a happy day. One thing that we focus on here at our teaching is love. Love certainly as an emotion that we each get to feel as we give it and receive it and stay in the flow of it. But more importantly, love, as Dr. David Hawkins says, is an attitude. It's a way of life. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Teachings of the Science of Mind, says love is the self-givingness of spirit, that power that is within us, whose desire, if it had personal qualities, would be to give more of itself. And the way that it gets to do that is through you and through me. And so let's let today be a day for us that we come together and commit to allowing this presence, this power to do its thing through us as unencumbered as possible. We welcome you into the space that we come in together today, the individualization of the thing itself that is known as you. We welcome all races, all ethnicities, all religions, all countries of origin, all gender identities, all sexual orientations, all abilities, and what's defined as disabilities, all spoken languages, and all ages. Everyone in life, we welcome, honor, and celebrate you. We love this mantra that we like to use each Sunday, and I invite you to say it along with me, and it is this: we welcome one, and we welcome all. We come together every Sunday and sometimes during the week to remember, as I said earlier, who we are. Primarily in this Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, we teach the philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the Science of Mind. I personally love this teaching, as I know that many of you do, and it's because of its simplicity that is certainly steeped in its complexities. But the simplicity of it is that there's only one power in the universe. We individualize that power. We access it through our mind. Also, it is known as the mind of God. And we individualize that and use it through our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our reactions, and our interactions with the very thing itself. We practice this by paying attention to how we show up in life and how we use the power itself that we are each imbued with. Understanding that we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law. And in its most simplistic terms, as Dr. Holmes says, it responds to us by corresponding. So if we want to know how we are using our mind effectively in life, all we need to do is to look at and experience our life. And should we desire our life to be different than what it is, and we all do on some level at some point in life, then our role and responsibility in this process of creation as co-creators within the process is to pay attention to our mind, our thinking, our beliefs, the way that we show up and act and interact and react with the thing itself. Dr. Holmes tells us in The Science of Mind that we're imbued with the qualities of this power, which include peace and power, beauty and joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. And so today we each have an opportunity to fulfill to the best of our ability, and then to the best of our ability, and then to the best of our ability, supporting ourselves and others as we find this personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. A spiritual awakening in its most basic sense is a remembrance that we are one in this immortal sea of life itself. And so let's all just let that anchor in for a moment. That we remember who we are. One with this immortal sea of infinite life. Sorry about that little jarring start to the music. I was kicking it off for us as we move into our morning ritual, which is called Calling in the Light. Let's take a moment and look at the flickering flame on the screen and let it be representative to each and every one of us of the light of life that exists within each of us, as well as the light that exists in all. To access this remembrance, we call it in through this ritual. Changing candles on the screen to remind us of the uniqueness and the individualizations of the way light expresses itself, we shall begin our ritual. Today, on this day, November 20th in the year 2022, we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The purpose of this ritual is to draw into our gathering this morning a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that I spoke of earlier that we possess as complete expressions of the divine. And so as we feel the vibrations shift during this experience, may we become ever more aware of the light of life that exists in and as all expressions of life, which includes you and me. As we imagine the energy of this light of life emanating from us and moving out into the world, I'd like to read our focus for the day, repeating it from last Sunday when we were in person, on gratitude. Gratitude and thanksgiving are both necessary in demonstrating good through divine law. Be grateful to God, the impersonal power, also known as the divine or source. And let's each commit today to being thankful for the loved ones whom it supplies to and through, including you and me. All metaphysicians have found by experience that being thankful for what they have increases the inflow. Gratitude is a great mind magnet, and when it's expressed from the spiritual standpoint, it's powerfully augmented. The saying of grace at the table has its origin in this idea of the power of increase through giving thanks. As we focus on this light of life on the screen, let's each take a moment and bring into our mind's eye a particular loved one that we're grateful for and for what they bring into our life. Feel free to say their name out loud should you desire. And then let's include in this that this candle is representative of being the healing candle. And we shall put into this light of the divine anyone, including ourselves, that we would like to have experienced the healing flame of God's love. To anchor into this ritual, we sing a song each Sunday. Today, I would like for us to sing the song, Let There Be Peace on Earth, remembering that just as we affirm by calling out names, individuals being part of the radiant healing light of the divine, the same is for the quality of peace. The acronym that I like to use for peace is Purposeful Energy Activates Conscious Evolution. James is going to take us through the song, and I invite you to sing along with the intent to evolve consciously, activating the purposeful energy of healing.
Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. God as creator, united all we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. And let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me.
And so I affirm for each of us that peace is our reality, that it not only resides within us as a way of life, but we radiate and emanate it and give it back to the world, knowing that it propagates itself and returns to us multiplied abundantly, co-creating a world that is indeed more peaceful moment by moment by moment. And for that we are grateful, and so it is. James, it just warms my heart and my soul to hear you sing that song, the way that you sing it, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know, I'm really feeling the lyrics extra this morning.
Yeah. That's why something inside me told me today would be the day for us to have that song, because I think it's important for us to participate in those lyrics as often as possible. It
Amen.
really is equal to that energy of gratitude, right? It's a transformative energy of engaging in peace.
Right. Yeah, if you have gratitude within yourself, then seems to be easily accessible.
Right, right. Well, gratitude should bring forth that within us. So,
Yeah.
beautiful nature. So, yeah, Ernest Holmes tells us that peace is a state of inner calm, right? So, and since we know that the outer in life is a reflection of what takes place in the inner, then it certainly makes sense to focus on the inner, right?
Ah, yes. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. So, what are you singing for us next?
Well, it's funny that really relates to why I chose the song for this week. I've been I'm dealing with a physical injury right now, going through a lot of pain, and I just was thinking a lot about how your perception of what's going on inside and what's going on around you really affects how you feel, how you feel pain, whether you feel pain or not. And I noticed that as I focused on the good and as I focused on the peace, then my pain was literally mended
Hmm.
because of it. So this song is called Heart of Life, and it's really just about how even though hardships will present themselves, we can focus on the heart of life being good, then our perception will be
That's our
definitely
theme for the
better.
day. Yes.
Mhm.
Great. Take it away.
I hate to see you cry, lying there in that position. There's things you need to hear, so turn off your tears and listen. Pain throws your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around. No, it won't all go the way it should, but I know the heart of life is good. You know it's nothing new. Bad news never had good timing. Then the circle of your friends will defend the silver lining. Pain throws your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around. No, it won't all go the way it should, but I know the heart of life is good. Pain throws your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around. No, no, it won't all go the way it should. I know the heart of life is good. Fear is a friend who's misunderstood, but I know the heart of life is good.
Love those lyrics.
Right though?
Yeah.
Really encouraging for me this week.
Good, good. So at the heart of life, life is good, right?
The heart of life is good. Fear is a friend who's misunderstood, but I know
Here's,
the heart
I
is life.
love
The
that.
heart of life is good.
Yes. Yeah. Great reminder for each of us.
Yeah. Yes.
Great reminder. And I was thinking as you were singing that, that if we're talking of love or peace or gratitude, they all fall in that realm of energy, the energy, vibrational energy of that which is healing, right? Because it's reflective of our divinity.
Yes.
Right? For each imbued with peace and power and beauty and joy, light, life, and love. Like that's all that. Ernest Holmes tells us that healing is revealing of the oneness of life that we're in. Those qualities of that oneness of life are peace and power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom, right? So it's all interconnected and it's just languaging that we use so that we understand the oneness in a greater way.
Yes. It's interesting how fear and pain can cover up those kind of things, and then it's like we have to re-reveal them. They become revealed again once those things start to lift and your perception changes.
My longtime teacher and many of our congregants here, his longtime teacher, Dr. David Walker, used to say that fear, which he would say shows up and right above your navel, right? He goes, that's where it shows up in your body. He goes, all you get to ask it, what is it that I need to know? Because all it's showing up is
Mm.
for the purpose of telling you that you need to know more about what you're engaging in.
Mm, that's good.
But it doesn't really exist as that to be harmful. It's an intuitive thing of, okay, I need to know more about this. So
Says
whether it's
notification.
or whether it's a decision that look, it's just the mind of the divine guiding you. It's like a guiding rod saying, "Ooh, come back here, stop and listen. Let your intuition guide you." Right,
When viewed like that, it's not necessarily just a bad thing. It's something that you can use to harness for good, to
right,
point in the right direction. I love
right,
that.
right. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you're going to love this message that I'm about to give because it's going to continue us on this theme. And so, why did that just show up? Nope, we don't want that. We want that. We want that. That is what we want. Ah, here we go. So, we continue our theme for the month of thank you, the words and the feelings. And as we were just speaking about the feeling of fear, I want to remind us that over the last few weeks we've been reminded about emotions and feelings, and that in and of themselves they have no power. They're a neutral energy. It's what we ascribe to them. It's the energy field, the attention, the language, the emotions that we place on them is how they then have power in our life. Thank you, the words and the feelings. So, the question that we have for ourselves is gratitude the secret of happiness? No matter where we are in life, what we're called to do is to give thanks. You're going to hear throughout this message the reminder for us to give thanks. In fact, right now, let's just stop and give thanks. I'm thankful that we get to come together. I'm thankful that James is here sharing his light. I'm thankful for the fun that I get to have in doing this message in this multimedia way. The question that we have is gratitude bring forth happiness? Did you know that gratitude shields you from negativity in life? It makes you at least 25% happier. It rewires your brain. It eliminates stress. This is not philosophical, by the way. These are as a result of several studies. It eliminates stress. It heals. It improves sleep. It boosts self-esteem and performance in life. And it enhances the law of attraction. And it improves relationships. Give thanks. It's important for us to remember here that happiness in life does not depend on external things or objects, etc. It's a state of equanimity, of spiritual balance that emerges from ideas, inner thoughts that are based on one's inner resources. The presence of the light within, the power that is here, the source of life itself, peace, power, beauty, joy, love, life and wisdom. Happiness, according to Hegel, is the absolute, meaning it is the thing itself in action. And philosophy is the science of the absolute, as Hegel said. In other words, as we study this absolute, the thing itself, right, that gives us the opportunity to bring forth and experience happiness. We get to do that by giving thanks. Gratitude. Life is one big continuous circle of giving and receiving energy. Be thankful for who and what's in your life right now instead of complaining about what you don't have. If we choose to focus on gratitude, we'll start to attract greater prosperity and abundance in our lives. I love this graph, this little meme, this photo that I put up every year that reminds us, what line are we in life? Are we stepping up to the window to share our complaints? Are we living in a state of complaining or a state of gratitude? It shows us here that the majority of people in life focus on what they don't have as opposed to what they do have. Let's let today be the day for you and I, for that to not be our reality. I love this little quip here of I try to be grateful, but then I just feel worse for being an ingrate. Let's make a change today and commit to giving thanks. It's important for us to do that because if we look at it through the lens of the map of consciousness that I so often speak about regarding Dr. David Hawkins, where he did a study of multitudes of humans and allocating certain vibrational frequencies to states of mind, the lowest being shame, unworthiness, powerless, despair, guilt, and insecurity at the very low end of this map, this scale, on the 20 range of vibrations that move up all the way to 1,000, which is enlightenment, we'll see that if we live in that state of what we don't have, it brings forth through us frustration, irritation, impatience, being overwhelmed, living from a state of pride or discouragement or blame or worry or doubt or even potentially anger or hatred or rage or jealousy. The question that we get to ask ourselves today is, are we living or thinking here? And it's important to know that we may or may not live there on a permanent place in our life, but we may have moments of anger or potential rage. And as it shows up, we get to ask ourselves, do we want to hang here or make a choice and evolve into a higher framework of mind? Remember that at all times we're emanating and radiating energy that is reflective of our state of being, our state of mind, and to remember that everything around us is made up of energy. If we want to attract positive things in our life, we start off by giving positive energy. If we want to attract happiness into our life, we start off by giving out happiness. You and I each have before us today, in this very moment, the opportunity to remember that we are a radiant being of energy. As we look at this alive graphic on the screen, let's each take a moment and imagine for ourselves, no matter how we may be physically sitting, that energy is moving through us and from us right now. Imagine your entire being right now radiating energy as we see on the screen. It's important to know that whether we imagine it or not, it's still happening. Everything around us, through us, as us, is indeed energy. So what is ours to do? Well, give thanks, of course. Marcus Aurelius tells us that very little is needed to make a happy life. It's all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Imagine thinking in a way that you're happy, and once again, then seeing the body, radiating this energy. What we're being trained and informed of in this moment is to remember that it's important for us to be the energy that we want to attract in life, whether that's prosperity and abundance in the form of tangible material goods, or healing in the physical sense of life, or love as an emotional state, or love as the self-givingness of spirit whose desires to create more of itself out of itself, and the way that it does that is through you and through me. Old school metaphysics tells us that if we want to change our world, we do that by changing our thinking. This is indeed still true today. We need to add to that our field of energy. Not just use our brain for thinking, but our entire brain for being the power and the presence of the divine. To choose gratitude, and I love this on the screen because it shows us that when we approach life using gratitude as our foundation, and we add it to optimism, to our selflessness, to our spiritual practices and spirituality in life, we add it to our empathy and our self-esteem, true happiness emerges as the reality of our life. Right now, if we were to just even pick one of those, or two, in how we approach our optimism in life, or our spirituality, or our state of empathy and our selflessness, or our self-esteem and our optimism, being grateful for what exists in life right now and what we are giving in life, manifests itself as it magnetizes itself, and true happiness becomes the reality. And then as we show up on the map of consciousness, it changes. As we look at these higher elevations on the map of consciousness, you begin to see that there are qualities of the divine that show up here, and which is a guide for us to remember that we can change our way of life, ultimately changing that which we emanate, which ultimately changes our life, which brings back more into our life that is reflective of living life in a state of happiness, a state of love, living with a state of expectation that is affirmative and positive, and enthusiasm, which then allows us to evolve into a state of appreciation that has been driven by focusing on joy and peace and ultimately living in this framework, this mindset of gratitude, which brings forth freedom and empowerment. So today we have before us the opportunity to decide how we want to give thanks, which then allows us to give life. It's all about the choices that we choose to make on this day by day, moment by moment journey of finding our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening on the journey of life itself. We're told here that the vibration of appreciation is the closest vibration that that can be experienced by the human being that is reflective to that of our non-physical core energy, our divinity, if you will. That appreciation, gratitude, feels good in your powerful and important now moment. And it guarantees wonderful future experiences as the universe responds again and again to our signal. To your signal. What are you signaling to the universe? While remembering, as the great Abraham Hicks informed us, is through our choices that we can always, always, always reach for a thought, a signal that feels better. And that which feels better, using the map of consciousness as a barometer as well as just everyday life, are those feelings of peace and power, beauty and joy and empowerment and confidence and light and life and love and wisdom. Gratitude, the words and the feeling. Thank you. The great Louise Hay writes in her book, Gratitude, A Way of Life, this: gratitude is a way of life. It's the active practice of thankfulness and appreciation. Being grateful can be as simple as sending positively charged thoughts, signals, out into the universe to give thanks for all that you have and all that you are. She says, I've noticed that the universe loves gratitude. The more grateful you are, the more goodies you get. When I say goodies, I don't mean material things. I mean all the people, places, and experiences that make life so wonderfully worth living. You know how great you feel when your life is filled with love and joy and health and creativity, and you get the green lights in the parking places. This is how our lives are meant to be lived. The universe is a generous, abundant giver, and it likes to be appreciated, just as we do. Think about how you feel when you give a friend a present. If the person looks at it and their face falls, or she says, oh, not my size or not my color, I never use anything like that, or is that all there is? Then I'm sure, Louise writes, you will have little desire to ever give them a present again. I just recently went through this with someone, and I was so excited to give them a particular gift, and there was no acknowledgement whatsoever. And I had to really bring in my field of awareness as to what was my intention in giving and what is my intention for wanting to be thanked. Was it self-serving? Was it self-aggrandizing? Or was it just wanting to stay in the flow of life itself? The latter is the conclusion I came to. Louise goes on to say, however, this friend, if her eyes dance with delight and she's pleased and thankful, then every time you see something she would like, you want to give it to her, whether you actually do so or not. She's talking about how the universe responds. She says that by the time I've gotten out of bed, good girl Louise, I've probably expressed gratitude for 80 or 100 different people, places, things, and experiences in my life. It's a great way to start the day. And it is, and I've been doing that this week in preparation for this message today. And it certainly makes a difference that in the morning when we say thank you before we get up, and based on the meme that I shared last week, it certainly reframes or frames the day in a new way. She goes on to say that in the evening just before sleep, I go through the day blessing and being grateful for each experience. I also forgive myself if I feel that I made a mistake or said something inappropriate. Haven't we all done that? Or made a decision that was not the best. All done that. She says, this experience fills me with warm fuzzies, and I drift off to sleep like a happy baby. We even want to be grateful for the lessons we have. Don't run from lessons, life lessons. They're little packages of treasure that have been given to us. As we learn from them, our lives change for the better. I now rejoice whenever I see another portion of the dark side of myself. I know that it means that I'm ready to let go of something that's been hindering my life. I say thank you for showing me this so I can heal it and move on. So whether the lesson is a problem that has cropped up or an opportunity to see an old negative pattern within us, that it is time to let go of, rejoice. Rejoice by giving thanks. And so today, let's make a commitment to spend as many moments, as Louise tells us, as we can every day being grateful for all the good that is in our lives. If we have little in our life right now, it will increase. If we have an abundant life right now, it will increase. This is a win-win situation. She says, commit to yourselves to state and know that you are happy and the universe is happy, and gratitude increases your abundance. Choose to be grateful no matter what. Be grateful and know that life is good. Life is good. Let's all remember that right now, that life indeed is good no matter where you're at on your journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, that the abundance and the nature of the universe is here within us and at our beck and call for us to have more of it, and we do that by affirming its presence and saying thank you for it. Gratitude opens the door to the power itself, to the wisdom, the creativity of the universe. I was watching this YouTube segment by the one and only Oprah Winfrey on gratitude, and she was talking about choosing to be grateful and to be really specific in this choice. That to, when you lay down at night, say, I'm thankful that my head gets to lay on a pillow, and I'm thankful that I have the ability to be thankful, and I'm thankful that my stopped up nose that was there earlier is now cleared and I can breathe freely, and I'm thankful that the pajamas that I got to put on help keep me warm, and I'm thankful that I have sheets that go on my bed, and I'm thankful that I have a bed, and I'm thankful that I get to use my eyes to read, and I get to use my ears to hear, and I'm thankful that right now I get to be thankful, and I'm thankful that my knee's not hurting, and I'm thankful that I got to chew my dinner, and I'm thankful that I got dinner, and I'm thankful that my life is what it is. She's saying, make a choice to not live in this state of just overarching components of gratitude and oversweeping, but to get down and dirty and real in this development of a mindset that then opens the doors to the power and the wisdom and the creativity of the universe. Remember this role that we have in life for using our gratitude and propagating our good is really about using our creative energy purposefully for the intent and purpose of magnifying it, for radiating it, for attracting more of it into our world, and then for being a tool, not being a tool, but being a tool to share that in life, and know that the more that we tune into our good, the more we radiate it, and that gives opportunity for others to do the same. Let's remember that we live in a universe where the law of cause and effect is indeed in play. It's also known as the law of karma. Let's remember that every action generates a force of energy that returns to us in like kind. What we sow is what we reap. And what we choose actions, and when we choose actions that bring happiness and success to others, the fruit of our karma is indeed happiness and success. remembering that everything is energy, and living in it and giving it generates a force of this energy. And so today, let's make a commitment to the best of our ability to be grateful as a way of life. That to choose every moment, every minute, every hour, every day to the best of our ability to send out gratitude, to own our ability to be grateful, to use this power, this force of energy in a way of gratefulness, to magnify that which exists, knowing that the universe responds in like kind because that's its nature. Let's remember that gratitude, it's not just a word, it's a way of life. It's what propels us into this conscious evolutionary stage of life. It's what moves us into this higher vibrational frequency of life itself. And so today, let's stop and smell the roses and know that whether we move through life masked or unmasked, we can be grateful for life itself. Gratitude plus forgiveness multiplied by love indeed attracts happiness. It's a simple formula for creating more happiness in your life. Today, I affirm for you, as I do for me, that as we move forward from this moment on to the next and the next and the next, that indeed we live lives of happiness that's steeped in gratitude and forgiveness to others and ourselves, and multiply that by the self-givingness of spirit, whose desire is to create more of itself out of itself. And as we do this, it does. And we feel the happiness that exists by means of the universe and ourselves. Happy Thanksgiving. And so it is. I'm going to invite James back to sing a wonderful song for us to keep this good energy and high level of energy moving.
Okay's alright with me. Some things are just meant to be. It never comes easily, and when it does, I'm already gone. I'm practically never still, more likely to move until I end up alone. And well, life continues inching along. When Bernadette comes, I get lost on her time. She's much too sweet, and she's always gonna be. When I return to her arms and her eyes, it might not be the same, but it's alright with me. Okay, it's alright with me. Some people are scared to see what's happening frequently, but I would never shy from a fight. Heartbeat with a high demand often will go hand in hand. But I'm sick of just starting plans. I wanna spend the rest of my life. When Bernadette comes, I get lost on her time. She's much too sweet, and she's always gonna be. When I return to her arms and her eyes, might not be the same, but it's alright with me. Okay, it's alright with me. Oh, it's alright with me. Oh, it's alright with me. Okay, it's alright with me. I said this, okay, it's alright with me. Some things are just meant to be. It never comes easily. When it does, I'm already gone.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. Great upbeat.
Thanks.
Great, great upbeat. All right, James, thank you. So, right now, everyone, I'm going to place on the screen the opportunity for each of us to support our community financially. It's what we call conscious giving, and we have the opportunity to go to our website, csl-la.org, and click on donate, or go to the app in the App Store, Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, and click on the upper left bars, and the screen will come up and you'll see the donate tab. Or you can mail in a check. Our address is 1200 North La Brea Avenue, West Hollywood, California, 90038. Or you can call me. My number's on the screen, and I'll be happy to take care of it for you privately and personally. As we take a moment to give, let's all remember that the abundance of the universe is within us, that it's ours to participate in. And so we give consciously, understanding that, reflecting the nature of nature, which is to give, that as we give, it uses this law of cause and effect, this law of karma, this energy force that begins to move out into the universe and propagate itself and return to us multiplied abundantly. For that we say thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. James is going to come on the screen and take us through our conscious giving song called Love is My Decision, as we each take a moment to support our community financially to the best of our ability. James?
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. Once I decide to change my mind, the source will show me how. Love is my decision, right here, right now.
So it is. Thank you, James.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you. So I just want to give you some updates that what's going down here at the CSL of the LA. That Monday mornings, our Wednesday morning meditation continues at 8:30 a.m. online. You'll see the link on the screen. It's a time to come together on Wednesday mornings for 20 minutes to go through a guided meditation that's creative and sometimes fun and interesting and provokes within us and stimulates within each of us that are a part of it to be reconnected in a way, if you will, a guide for remembrance. Last week I used the different poetry from Maddie J. Stepanek called Heartstrings, on the book Heartstrings, as a guide, which was so loving and beautiful. Not only do you have the opportunity to participate in those morning meditations on Wednesday morning through Zoom, you don't have to turn your camera on, so you don't have to coif your hair. I'm the only one that typically has my camera on, excuse me, and I have on a baseball hat. But so you don't have to be presentable if you don't want to be. But also know that those meditations are later posted, and I believe they're on our Facebook page. So you can find the ones that have been done before, and sometimes we send them out the day after as well. So just watch for those, and please use those. They're a great resource and a great tool in life as a remembrance of the role that we play in co-creating the good in our life. Also want to remind you that on December 1st at 7 o'clock, we're participating with Congregation Kol Ami in a World AIDS Day celebration. It will be in person at the location of 1200 North La Brea Avenue, our home, as well as it will be done online. We'd love to have those of you in town to come in person if at all possible. It's an annual event that we've done for several years now, and it's a very moving and evocative and lovely, lovely, lovely experience. And I gained so much from it, and there's local politicians and representatives from various different faiths in the community that are there, and it's just a really touching ceremony and one of great importance, as well as we bring in a panel from the AIDS quilt, and it is then hung up in the sanctuary, and we are going to have it there through our service on December 11th. So I know that you'll get to see it then as well. So I want you all to participate in that if you have the ability to do so. It would be great to have you there. Reminder that our new thought for the day, a text goes out each morning at 7:30 in the morning, and you can find us on all social media. That can all be found through our website, csl-la.org, and just know that we love you and love your support and want to support you to the best of our ability. A big thank you to James Harper for being our musician this morning, and we also send out healing and loving energy to Amy Steinberg on her journey of healing right now. And but James, you showed up, baby, and you showed up quite well. So thank you for doing that. And it's always just a pleasure to have you as a part of our family here in service with us. A great thank you and a big thank you and to Travis Smith, our audio technician, for doing all that he does for us. And we deeply appreciate and honor you for that, Travis, as well as to Robert Hensley, our social media individual, as well as administrative asset. Thank you, and thank you for all that you do. And big thank you to each one of you for being a participant in this community that is constantly evolving to a higher level of who and what we are. A reminder that we will be in service on December 11th, I believe is the date, and in person, and that will be our holiday service in person. So please plan on being there and bringing friends. We'd love to. We had a big turnout last Sunday, and it would be really great to have that and more again. And so let's all hold that as a thought, as a vision, and do our role in bringing loved ones to participate in this great time together on December the 11th, I believe it is, at 10:30. So I think that completes us for the day. Thank you for being here, and I know that your day ahead and your week ahead is one that will be infused with gratitude that's a result of how you're choosing to participate in life, ultimately bringing forth happiness in life for you and all that are in your presence. We're going to close out with a meditation/prayer, and after that we'll say goodbye to those that have joined us on Facebook, and those on Zoom can stay on, and we can have a moment of community and chat should we like to do that. And so once again, I wish for each and every one of you, and I affirm for each and every one of you, that you know throughout this week of gratitude that we're grateful to you, and I know that you're grateful for all the good that exists in your life right now. And I know that the day of Thanksgiving, wherever you may be, is one where you remember the power and the presence that's at your disposal. Let's close with prayer and meditation. Excuse me. Wherever you may be, if you feel comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes. And as we close our eyes and excuse me, begin to peer into the back of our eyelids, that place we call the optic screen. For each of us, we begin to see the particles of energy that are radiating from us. Just as we had seen on the screen earlier, these particles, these colorful, vibrational fields of energy that radiate from us, we begin to infuse those right now with gratitude. Letting these particles of gratitude be whatever color that gratitude means to us. But as they move out beyond us, we begin to see the field in front of us and above us and around us beginning to change in its color, being representative of this field of gratitude that as it moves beyond us, dancing upon itself in the infinite field of energy that exists always around us, through us, and as us. We let this be a reminder to us that we have an impact on that which is experienced in life by means of us, and we impact that through our choices and how we choose to let our light shine, emanate and vibrate the frequency of love and light, and choose to be peaceful. And so as we take a deep breath in and exhale, we make a covenant with ourselves, a deep-rooted agreement, a commitment that to the best of our ability, moving forward step by step, thought by thought, action by action, moment by moment, hour by hour, day by day, activity by activity, to the best of our ability, we bring the highest of ourselves. Remembering that it's gratitude plus forgiveness times love brings forth happiness. And as we radiate this happiness, we equally attract it. And so we live in this bubble of happiness that is infused by gratitude and forgiveness and love and self-awareness. And it's a joy that we each have before us the opportunity to be a conscious co-creator in the life that we live. And so we go forward now doing our part purposefully, intentionally, consciously, and most importantly, in gratitude, knowing that the law of life responds, letting it be, as we say together, amen, and so it is. Thank you once again. Peace and blessings are being expressed by means of you right now. Go and give your good, the good that is you, to life. Happy Thanksgiving. Namaste.